What time is it?
Asking someone for the time is perfectly normal.
What time is it?
But
What time is it?
not realizing you are asking about the time every few minutes is the first hint audiences get that something is wrong with Dottie Shealy.
In the first 10 minutes of the play, she must ask what time is it 20 times.
I'm getting confused all the time.
The play is called Dot.
What day is this?
It's about Alzheimer's disease, and it's the season opener at the St. Louis Black Rep.
It's Alzheimer's. I should have told you. I probably forgot.
It's a comedy, it's a drama, it's a little bit of both.
And it's a little more than just a play. The Black Rep has partnered with the Knight Alzheimer's Disease Research Center at Washington University, hoping to use the production to reach a population that may not know one startling truth about Alzheimer's.
It turns out that African Americans are more susceptible to Alzheimer's disease than are whites, probably double the risk. And yet this is not very much appreciated, even in African Americans.
Much of the drama comes from how Dottie's family chooses to deal with her illness, or in some cases, not to deal with it.
That bad. She's in the early stage.
The early stage has passed, brother.
My character is basically in denial about what's happened. He just kind of doesn't want to deal with it. He can't really engage. And I've had 3 grandparents have dementia. And just at the time in my life when I was going through that, it wasn't something I could really process.
Oh, I cannot find my keys.
The play does not deal with the increased risk of Alzheimer's in African Americans, but the audience is given those facts during a post-show discussion, as the cast is joined on stage by clinicians and staff from Washington University who take questions and encourage the audience to volunteer for the Knight Center's ongoing memory and aging research project.
So now we know losing your memory as you get older isn't normal. And so many more of us are getting older, it's becoming very obvious.
If we only study Alzheimer's disease in white people, we'll only learn about Alzheimer's disease in white people. So we need to study all people.
Mom, what you doing in there?
The most obvious question is why the incidence of Alzheimer's is so much higher among African Americans. There are no proven answers yet, but doctors have their suspicions.
African Americans as a group have been discriminated against all their life. And that is associated with distress and stress. And we think those may be deleterious to brain health. Generally, the quality of education is not as good as for white individuals. We think education is a big factor. So there are many things we need to address.
Do you want eggs?
What time is it?
It's 10-something. You need to eat.
The idea of losing a person's memory is an especially resonant topic for the actors because memorization is so important to their craft.
It's a terrifying thought. I love what I do, and I mean, even now, I don't remember lines as quickly as I did 10 years ago.
I'm getting to a point now when I look at a role and I see how big it is, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I better start working a month or so earlier before rehearsal to get a jump on it.
I got some memory problems.
Mom.
Actors always strive to give memorable performances. But in this case, they are hoping to leave audiences with a message to carry with them long after the memory of the play itself fades away.
What time is it?